It is the most exciting day today. It is digging out the dahlias day today and getting them potted up. So let me show you what we have set up here. I have a bunch of pots here ready to be filled in different sizes. So as I check my tubers for eyes and sprouts, the ones that have already sprouted, the ones that have sprouts and eyes already, I will pot up into the smallest pot that they will fit in. So these are 3.5-inch pots. These are like 4-inch pots, and these are like 5-inch pots, I think, or 6-inch. And I've got quite a few trays ready to go here. These are 2 of my containers out of a dozen or so. So this will be a multi-project day. I've got some snips, some markers, some labels, some paper and a pencil so that I can write down what I have potted up as we go, so I can keep track of everything that I have. There were a few, I keep track all along, but throughout the winter there were a few casualties, so I just want to be able to make sure I know what we have. I've got a bale of potting mix here. Do you guys have a container like this that hangs out in your shed every year? I think this is like all gardeners, right? So had to dig out all the pots. Anyway, we better get at this. Okay, so I'm going to be starting with this tuber here. Some of my tubers, you'll notice, are in little duos. I definitely have some singles, but a lot of them, especially this year, because I didn't do the best job ever, here's single. A lot of them are in these little clumps and things. So you can clearly see this eye, and I think I saw another one right here. I think you can see that there. So where I have 2 eyes, I can definitely divide this clump into 2. This is Holly Hill Black Beauty. So I think I'm definitely going to do that. So I've got my little snips here, and there's a lot of ways you could go about this. You could literally just like cut this whole clump in half and have a duo here and a trio on this side. But I think what I'm going to do is actually try to remove this tuber with this eye. So that was pretty easy. My eye is intact, my tuber is intact. So in order to have a successful plant, we need the tuber, we need this neck to be intact, it can't be broken, and this is the crown where the eyes are found, and we need an eye. So this one will be its own plant. Now, this other one, I could leave this whole clump again, or I could remove this eye with this tuber and then hope that there's more eyes and possibly get 3 divisions from this clump. So I think that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to come here and just clip right here. And now we have our tuber, our neck, and our eye. Now if this was in the fall, I would definitely make sure and label each of these tubers, but because it's potting up time, we're not going to do that. Now this is still the tuber that has the label, so I won't need to worry about this. And any tubers, I went through these containers and pulled out all of the ones that had eyes or sprouts. They're all sitting on top, and inside the container are still the ones that I'm waiting to eye up. So this tuber will go back in here to hopefully produce some more eyes. There's lots of places that eyes could develop. So I'm hopeful that we'll get at least one more eye out of this little clump. And in the meantime, these cuts will heal over so that they won't rot when we plant them up. Okay, I've got my markers here, and I've written on my list, and I've found appropriate pot sizes for the size of these 2 tubers. So let's get a little bit of soil in the bottom of each of these pots. Okay, so I've got a little bit of soil in the bottom of each pot here. You really only need a little tiny bit. And I'm gonna take my tuber and I'm gonna try to point my eye up, and it's not really gonna matter, like they will curl around and reach for the sunlight if they need to, but this will just kind of help it along. So I'm just going to kind of nestle this down in the bottom here. And I'll nestle this one down the same way. So there's my eye. And then we will cover these up. Now I will very lightly water these. They don't need a whole lot of water until they start growing. And I don't want to encourage rot. So I will just keep them barely damp until I start to see green growth above, and then we'll start watering them regularly. All right, now we'll just stick our tags in here and move on to the next one. Okay, now here's one that has sprouted. This one isn't too bad, so I am going to leave it, but when we get into something like this, probably this, I'm going to cut off. When I pot it up, if any of this is above the soil, it's going to make kind of for a weak stem, and I want to make sure that these have nice sturdy stems. So we're going to move on to this one. This is Ferncliff Illusion, and this is the best size pot that I could find for it. So we'll put some soil in the bottom. Wasn't quite enough. We'll nestle our tuber down in here after I stop throwing it around and get it covered up. I'll just make my tag and stick it in. Okay, this one is called Sir Richard, and this is the only clump I have, so I would like to have 2. So I think on this one what I'm going to do is try to remove these 2 tubers and hope that there are some eyes here that will develop. So far I just see this one sprout, and I think we're gonna go for it. So maybe this little guy is gonna go with them. I'm going to start here first because I think it might have a tendency to split in a way I don't want it to. A little cut there. Now this may or may not work. Hopefully it will. There. Now this little clump I'll put back in the container and hope that it develops eyes. And this one I will get potted up. Alright, with this guy again, it looks to me like this sprout here is attached to one of these two tubers. This tuber is going to make it kind of difficult to pot up. So I'm going to go ahead and just cut this guy off. He won't be viable, but now this is going to be a lot more manageable. This is garbage, and this is going to be a lot more manageable trying to fit in a pot. Alright, we've got these two containers potted up and ready to go. Only 10 more to go. This is what we've got going on. I did actually leave a couple of the sprouts long. I pinched most of them, but I just couldn't help myself. So, these just need to stay warm. They don't actually need light or anything until they reach the soil surface. So you can actually stack these on top of one another. Like I'll put these on top of these pots here, and they'll take up a lot less room. So that's where we're at. I've got a lot of work ahead of me over the next couple days, but dahlias are worth it, guys. So thanks for watching. Come back again. We'll see you next time.